This is Mike at Astro Apostle doing a short on ToupTek imaging accessories. And while I have a number of ZWO products, I started with the ASI Plus and saw that it kind of locked me into purchasing their focuser, their cameras. Their guide camera. I wanted to branch out because sometimes I am looking for a budgetary solution. I don't want to necessarily always buy the high end. If I can save a few dollars, that allows me to test out other products that are in the market. And so I'm putting up a video on the Celestron C8 and the rig configuration. Right here is the ToupTek cam, GPM 462M guide scope camera, which is right here, which is a good guide camera. And I'm also using the ToupTek Stella Vita. I had originally purchased the Astro Station and then ended up buying the Stella Vita when they changed the name. I just assume with the firmware update, they really function in the same. I don't really have any problem with the ToupTek controller. In fact, it is a good controller. I wish that they added some additional features to the display, you know, maybe time, maybe the number of frames, as it's, maybe they'll even add stacking to the imaging routines. But I generally use the Stella Vita in a plan setup, and it's really good. Even with the guide scope, I don't really do much guiding. I'm not using Nina or Sharp Cap, but I do allow tracking. So I really work on getting my alignment. For the beginner, you might have issues with your alignment or your plate solving. And I recently discovered in my, setup routine, I put a focuser on the Celestron C8, but didn't take into consideration the change in the focal length of the scope. So when I loaded up the Stella Vita, I left the focal length as the original 2032 millimeter, which later I was instructed that with the reducer, I had to change that focal length to somewhere approximately 1140 millimeter. And through plate solving, it came up to 1300 millimeter based on the back focus distance. So for beginners, you just gotta, do it right. Do your setup, do your level, check your balance. I mean, that was another thing that I wasn't really paying attention to. Before you start your alignment routine, make sure that your focal length is correct. Otherwise, yes, you won't be able to complete a alignment routine. You won't be able to plate solve, and you'll think it's the equipment, or it's the camera, or it's the telescope. No, you didn't enter in the correct data, and that's going to be very important in your, again, imaging routine. I feel kind of bad. I sent an email to ToupTek support saying I was having a problem with the wireless controller when it wasn't the controller. It was just me. I used bad data and I didn't get good result. So after going back and checking and correcting the focal length, since I was using the 0.3 times reducer, I was able to complete a alignment routine. I was able to complete plate solving routines. So you just have to pay attention. And again, I find the ToupTek equipment, I mean, reasonably, adequate or good. My experience, almost 2 years in the hobby now, I don't see much difference between the GPM guide scope and the ASI Air 120 mini guide scope. They kind of give me the same results. The ASI Air Plus wireless controller, I get the same result with the Stella Vita wireless controller. The tube cam from ToupTek, just AI recommended that I use the ASI Air 678 on the Celestron C8 rather than using the, again, if you can see it, it's ATR 5A5 camera, because of the pixel size and its relationship to the focal length of the telescope. They said I'd get better results if I used that camera. Otherwise, I was using ATR 585C in my configuration. So, just the things you learn, just the experience you get with the knowledge that you acquire. So again, this is just a short review of the products that I've acquired from ToupTek. And, as a user, I'm satisfied with their product. I don't find any real issues with their product. With the wireless controller, they provide regular support, firmware update. Again, which you often have to check before you start your routines, because particularly if you haven't used the controller for a few days or so, you should always check if there are any current firmware updates before you run your routines, because an update can somehow or another interfere with that. But again, this is Mike at Astro Apostle, asking you to give me a like, subscribe, and leave your comments and your questions. I really would appreciate it. I'm doing my best to build the channel. I said in my other video, I'm offering a reward to the people that help me to get 500 subscribers, that help me to get 1,000 subscriber, or becomes 1,000 subscriber, or the 2,000 subscriber. Because I really want to build a channel and offer some assistance to all the people that are getting into the hobby. I'm doing my best to encourage people into this hobby. So I'll just say clear skies. Again, Mike at Astro Apostle.